Hey, my fellow Bahamians, and anybody else that may be interested in the opinions of a Bahamian on our upcoming elections and certain aspects thereof. Namely, for this video, which I will entitle, "It's not who you vote for, but it's why you vote for them." Presently, PLP has this country in such a mess that I think any rational person, and considering all of the factors and the reality of the situation, if they were able to be completely neutral in their opinions and reasons for voting and feeling however they do, they would have to concede that as far as the future of this country is concerned, you really can hardly support that which you know is detrimental to the country. Now, I know there are loyalties that develop, and I know, people have emotional attachments to, how they vote, who they support, where they go to church, what doctrine they believe in, and all of these kinds of things. And that's normal and natural. That's a human thing. You don't find humans who don't have an emotional attachment to these things to some degree. And that is fine. I mean, that's, like I say, a human aspect. But the problem is, I don't like, I feel, what's the word? I don't feel that I can really respect somebody who within your heart that they are voting a particular way for personal gain, or because they just have always been whatever they are, and they refuse to entertain any other ideas or opinions on what's going on with their particular party or candidate, or what's going on in their country. And to continue to support something and to defend something that much of the rest of the population, I would say definitely a majority right now, if social media is any real indication of where people are in their thoughts and attitudes towards the present political situation in the Bahamas. But when you will just jump up and defend your party, your candidate, or whoever, simply because that is who you have always been, or, that is, you have that emotional attachment to them for whatever reason, for what you have gained or what you've been promised, or your shame, and so, who's going to admit that they're embarrassed or ashamed that they voted a certain way, or that they vote a certain way, even if certain things are brought into the light and proven against their party or candidate? Some people are just so what's the word, void of spiritual and emotional maturity to confess that they were wrong and to entertain any other ideas. I have typically voted F&M. And I have listened to a lot of criticism and whatnot of the F&M over the years. And I never once jumped up without hesitation to defend anything they did, unless I was particularly informed on that issue. These people who represent you in government are human beings. They are flawed. They are subject to failure. They are subject to corruption. They are subject to influence by money and power and whatnot. So, yes, you have the right to vote for whomever you want to. But don't try to tell me that after careful consideration and examination that you still feel the same trust and respect for certain political individuals or a party that is obviously leading us down the wrong road. That is an insult to my intelligence. And, there's a lot of things I don't like about people, just like everybody else. But one thing that really bothers me is intellectual dishonesty. So if you can tell me why you still support the PLP, and maybe you can make a convincing argument, then I'll listen. But there has to be some spiritual, mental maturity involved, not just emotion. Emotion just don't cut it. Emotion doesn't carry us into the next decade or century or whatever, depending on how much longer we'll be here. So, get real, be honest, most importantly with yourself. That's the bottom line. Thank you for listening, for watching, and I'm trying to keep a close eye on what's going on. And when the next government gets in, pray God that the PLP does not get back in. And when the next government takes office, I'll be watching them as well. Thank you.